it up. It's the Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Hall.
Hey, this is Stevie from Wicked Smile. I want you to do something for me. You're going to go up to your stereo. You're going to turn it up. I mean loud, really loud. This is our new single. It's called Last Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the band Wicked Smile, guitarist Steve Janevski to the program.
How you doing, Steve?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
What are you up to?
I'm just about to begin recording with Cassidy soon, actually. We're recording some vocals on a new track. So, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, although we're in lockdown still, so...
That's the situation right now? You're in lockdown right now?
This is our 6th lockdown, and I've just recently been told that we are the worst in the world for how long we've been in lockdown. So this recent one, we've been in lockdown for about 8 weeks, I think it is now, and we're not we're probably not getting out of lockdown until at least late November. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's probably looking at 3 to 3 and a bit months. But in the last 2 years, I would say that we've been in lockdown for about 9 months, 8 or 9 months. It's terrible.
Wow. So you're not going into school then, right? Because you're still a teacher, right?
Yeah, correct. But it's school holidays here at the moment for 2 weeks. So for a fortnight. But I actually have been going into school to teach the kids of parents who are essential workers. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's been quite bizarre, but generally everyone has been, at home the whole time. And we get to go out for 1 hour to get some exercise. Otherwise, that's it.
I believe it. So now, like, are only certain stores open? Go to the grocery store and that's it? Grocery
store. And not many other things apart from petrol stations.
Wow.
It's been, and food stores, of course. People have got to, but the food stores, you can only pick up food or else you have to Uber Eats or something. So
now, I know you don't drink, but is liquor banned during the quarantine?
I don't think it is banned, no. Good question. I don't think so. I think if they took that away, that'd be even harder for some people. I really feel sorry for those people who live alone or the elderly or people with depression, right? It's
gotta be tough.
Yeah, it's tough. It certainly is. And I'm a very up kind of guy. Like I'm a very positive guy. So I still see, I try and still say, look, at least we're healthy. But it's been tough. It really has. Cassidy's 18, so she's missing out on the. This is the time of my life. I remember when I was 18.
I know.
It's
terrible, ain't it?
Yeah, my son's doing really well in sport, and he's kind of been robbed of almost 2 years worth. So it's like when I say good, he's doing really, really well. Like he does representative stuff. So it's just like, oh my gosh.
What sport does he play?
He plays Australian rules football.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, is there a chance to be a pro at that, or? Possibly,
yes. Yeah, he's doing well. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you guys get out of this lockdown and people can start getting back to normal, and then, you guys can do your shows and he can start playing in his game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we've been lucky enough throughout earlier on in the year when we weren't in lockdown that we got to play quite a few shows. I mean, we played 5 sold-out shows earlier in the year.
Nice.
And we've still got one show which is sold out, which has been postponed because of being in lockdown, of course. So let's hope. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, man.
The last time that me and you spoke on the air was June of 2020. We talked about your debut EP, Delirium. Fast forward to this year.
Yes.
You have a brand new album titled Wait for the Night, and that's coming out September 24th. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, yeah, it's actually out in Australia. So, and even in the States, people who've been purchasing from the band direct. So it's very, very exciting. The reviews have been fantastic. Some people even calling it, album of the year in terms of the press and stuff, which is, very humbling to us because it's been a lot of work, a labor of love in many ways, but at the same time, it's been really something that we're really proud of. So it's fantastic, and it comes out in the UK on the 15th of October, and then that's via Cargo Records, and in Japan on October 27th by Biki Music is the label that we've signed with in Japan. So very, very exciting. Thank you. Some people were lucky enough to get it earlier who pre-ordered via our web store. So it's been really, really humbling to see some of the beautiful messages we've been receiving and stuff. So it's been very cool.
Yeah, the album is produced by Paul Laine, singer from Danger Danger and the Defiants. He's also worked with Cassidy as well. What's it like working with a guy like that?
Paul's great. Paul, I've known Paul now for about 7 or 8 years. I worked with him with my other band, the Radio Sun, and I've also got to be his guitar player in his solo band for many, many shows all over the world. So we've toured the UK together. We've played shows in America, Greece, as well as Australia. So it's been fantastic. We have a really good friendship now, and it's I've learned so much from Paul. He's a champion person as well as being a fantastic engineer and songwriter and singer, of course. We know that.
oh, yeah, he's great, isn't he?
He's awesome. He's really, really good. And I remember the first time that he came to the States. The first time that I met him in Australia, and then we did some shows in the United States, and I think we played at Melodic Rock Fest in Chicago, and nobody had a chance to rehearse. I mean, we rehearsed on our own in our own homes, but he lives in Canada, and I think we met up in the States, and then we played a gig, and it just sounded like we'd been playing for years. So very professional, very, very, very nice guy.
Yeah, this podcast will feature 2 tracks, Last Goodbye and We Fall. Can you give us the story behind each song? We
Fall is the first song that I wrote for Wicked Smile. And originally it was going to be, because I had no real, I wasn't sure what I was going to do musically, because I just left my band Black Majesty after playing with Black Majesty for almost 20 years. So it was a long time, and I'm still best of friends. I left on my own accord. I'm best friends with the guys, and I thought I'm going to write some songs, and I wanted to go back to my roots and think, I thought about high school, some of the bands that I was into, and bands like Skid Row and Judas Priest and Icon and Dio that came to mind. And I thought I'm going to write some songs in that kind of vein. So We Fall was the first track that I wrote. I sent it through to Paul, and he co-wrote some of it with me as well. And basically after that song, he was the one who urged me. He said, "Man, you've got to do something with this direction and this band," because we were very proud of the sound, and it came up really well. And lyrically, we focused on just some of the things wrong in the world. I mean, obviously, there's a lot happening at the moment, which is out of our control with COVID. But mix of politicians, a mix of ways that rock and heavy metal kids get seen and musos get seen, and normally we're kind of swept under the carpet because it's not in the mainstream and stuff. So lyrically, I was very satisfied with the way the song came together. And you mentioned Last Goodbye. That song started out as a guitar riff, and I was inspired by the Jake Ely Aussie era, so you can really hear it in the intro of the riff. And I came up with all the music, and then we bounced some ideas about certain parts of the song, Paul and myself. And lyrically, it's a little bit of a sad song because it's about losing somebody before their time. So, but very, very, very proud of the song. I'm absolutely wrapped with the way both songs came out. Actually, the whole album, this is probably the first time I can reflect and say there's not one song that I wouldn't want on the album. I think the song is full of fantastic songs and no fillers.
The title track, Wait for the Night, what's that about?
Wait for the Night started out again musically. Most of the time I'll write the music beforehand, and that's how I came up with that one as well. And that one was more inspired by Dio. And again, you'll probably hear little influences in the whole album. It was more of a tip of the hat in some ways to Vivian Campbell, and I love the Vivian Campbell era of Dio in particular. I love Dio in general, but he really sticks out for me. And that song reflects a lot about the imagery of the band Wicked Smile, because we kind of have this vampire sort of theme, and that one's got the Nosferatu reference, and I think it works well. And I've had a lot of people say to me that that's one of their favorite songs, and that's again fantastic.
What's your songwriting process like?
The songwriting process normally begins with a chorus idea that I come up musically. Normally I'll write it on the guitar, and if I like the idea of the chords and the melody, then I'll start writing the song. I know that may sound strange to some people, because some people will write a whole song and then see if they like it. For me, it's all about the chorus, and if the chorus sounds good, then I'll continue to work on the song. And all of the songs on the album pretty much started like with the choruses, and then I'll add a riff, and then scope out the song in terms of your verse and your if there's a bridge and middle eight and so on. And after that, lyrically, we wanted to focus on not the stereotypical 80s love thing. I think we've only got one or two love references in the songs, like Love's Got a Hold on You. But generally, lyrically, we talk about things like bullying, for example. That's one thing that's really important to us, because in my family, not only because I'm a teacher, but as a parent as well, you hate to hear of people being bullied. And I remember my daughter was going through high school and was kind of being given a hard time about being a rock chick, which I find kind of unbelievable, because back in the day it was a cool thing if you were a rock person, but maybe because she was a female as well, some people didn't sit really well with them, but kind of having the last laugh right now because she's moving on with her music and stuff. So that's really cool and humbling. And other lyrics, we talk about mental health, and Days of Delirium is the reference point there. We've got just a mix of things and issues that are kind of not talked about as often, so not the stereotypical stuff. And lastly, for the songwriting, I wanted to make sure that we really had a mix of tempos in terms of timing of songs. So we wanted some real fast songs, we wanted some mid-tempo, and of course we've got some slower songs like Sign of Times, and then we have the ballad with Wait For Me. Yep.
Any plans to shoot any videos for some of the songs on the album?
Definitely. We made a video for Last Goodbye, and we've also got one coming out. And all of this stuff was all shot before being in lockdown. Thank goodness. We've got another video that's going to be coming out on the 15th of October, which is going to coincide with the digital release and also the UK release. And that's going to be for Date with the Devil.
You guys added another guitar player between the last time I spoke with you, didn't you?
Correct, yeah. Well, I recorded a lot of the album myself and wrote 95% of the songs as well. But then it was time to get another guitar player in. I love the idea of having two guitars, and it just opens up, so much more in terms of what you can do. Because I'm influenced by bands like Judas Priest, and you've got Tipton and Downey, you've got Queensryche with DeGarmo and Wilton, and so I really love that idea with Skid Row, with Scotty Hill and Snake. So I really wanted that, and it just fills out the sound a lot more and allows you to harmonize on guitars and play twin melodies and stuff. So Dave was actually a person who was recommended by my good friend Hanny, who I played in a band with, I mentioned before, for 20 years in Black Majesty, and he said, "Hey man, this guy named Dave, I think you'll like his playing, and he'd be just right for you." And we auditioned Dave, and as soon as he came into the studio and he knew the tracks, we just thought, man, this guy, he's perfect for what we do, and he's a brilliant guitar player, and he really does some fantastic guitar playing on the CD. For example, the next single, Date with the Devil, he shines on that one because from the intro through to the main solo, he's just lets rip.
That's awesome. What's the best piece of advice another musician ever gave you?
I would say, coming from Paul Laine, who I've worked with for a long time, he said, please yourself in regards to your songs and your songwriting first before others, because I've been on labels before, and sometimes you kind of have to stick to a certain sound. Like obviously Black Majesty was a heavier band, and being power metal, you kind of have to stick to that double kick kind of idea, which is, I get it, it's power metal band, right? But with Wicked Smile, I wanted to make sure that I was 100% happy with the content, and that goes lyrically and musically. So I pleased myself, I wrote it for myself, and it's just so cool that I'm starting to reap the benefits of people really liking what we've come up with.
Very cool. Do you have a website you'd like to promote?
We, if you go on our social media, such as Facebook or our Instagram, on YouTube, for example, if you go on YouTube and you type in Wicked Smile, you can click on the information part about where you can get our merchandise, so people can pick up the album. And one thing which is just recently, in the last couple of days, we've sent out a whole bunch of CDs to the United States. So now people in the United States will be paying for local shipping as opposed to crazy costs from Australia, because it's so expensive to mail things from Australia to the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. So we're really happy about that. And people have been writing us heaps of messages saying thank you so much, because people are paying a couple of dollars now for their mailed CDs as opposed to $20, you know, if more sometimes, depending where you live. So yeah, if people type in Wicked Smile Equid Store, you'll find our store and you can pick up our CD and T-shirts and other merch.
Cool. And you said you're on Facebook and Instagram as well, right?
Definitely, yeah. It's facebook.com/WickedSmileBand. Okay. So yeah, it's been going really well, my friend, and I'm really proud of what we've come up with. And I think in terms of the band, we've got a world-class band. The vocals of Danny Ciccardi is absolutely unbelievable. He's got a huge range. Like me, he can do anything from Halford Dickinson to, you know, singing really just with a lot of feel and stuff on songs like Don't Wait For Me, which is the ballad on the album. So the response has been fantastic that way. And we've got Glenn Cav on bass and Jason Tyra on drums. And it's just, and I mentioned Dave Graham as well on lead guitar. So very proud of the band. We are definitely a world band in terms of touring and stuff when things open up. We're booked next year for a UK tour already, late 2020 in November. So we'll be touring the United Kingdom, and we're really excited about that. And I'm sure that we're going to get to other places as well. So I hope we get to the United States and Canada and so on as well.
Is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
I think we pretty much hit it on the head there, man. The whole thing is that if people like bands such as a lot of the classic 80s bands, anything between Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Dio, Skid Row, Icon, Dokken, Sabotage, Rat. If you like bands like that, I think you'd comfortably be into what we do, because that's very much our influence, and that's stylistically what we're about. And check us out on social media, and by all means send us a message or write on our pages, because that's one thing we are. We're very hands-on with that. We love talking to our fans, and we've got a fan forum on the Facebook page as well, and that has been going fantastic. It's really, really cool.
Awesome. Well, Steve, I want to thank you so much for taking time out to talk to me today. I wish you so much luck with this new album, Wait for the Night. I think it's really great.
Thank you, man. Thanks for your time, and a big shout out to everyone who supported us so far. Thank you very much.
Awesome, man. Well, stay in touch. When you get something new coming out, let's talk about it, all right?
Thank you. Cheers, man.
Take care, man.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.